G'day YouTube, or should I say good night, because it's currently night time, but I believe it's just going to count down into the next day. This is exactly where we left off, and let's just get going straight into it. I am the Daff, and this is It's Day 9. Now, just before, and I already stuffed it up, and I thought I was going to do this very smoothly. Very smoothly. It's probably really creepy with the microphone, but and so, the day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro just carried out his daily routine of using magic. You mean magic? Magic? There's magic in this? I did not know. Like, I thought you just fixing in just the chronicles of Shiro who goes around fixing things. Nah. Blah blah blah. I stretch out and adjust my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and pay attention only to what's inside me. Don't take that out of context. Trace on. As if to hypnotize myself, I murmur the spell I'm long accustomed to. No, I really am hypnotizing myself. As I have no magic crest and no knowledge of magic, the spell is only a change to myself. Normally, there are no lines in the human body to allow the passage of magical energy. To artificially change my body to create such a line, I need enough concentration to unify my whole body and every nerve within it. Magic is a battle with yourself. For instance, at this very moment I am inserting a burning steel rod into my backbone. What? Wait. What? This metal rod is the only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. This better be like a metaphor type burning steel rod, not an actual burning steel rod. When I insert it this deep into my back and connect it to the other nerves, I can finally become a magus. This is not a metaphor, fucking hell. As if to like reinforce to me. In reality, something like a burning tongue, which cannot be seen or felt, is being inserted into my backbone. Okay, we get it, it's actually happening. I am a sorcerer. Is this just a self-harm, like, cult? Emiya Kiritsu, the man who said so, was really a magus. A living magus who performed many marvels and had touched the very structure of the world. As a young child, I admired him and asked him to teach me magic. But you cannot become a magus without effort. It requires born talent and appropriate knowledge. And of course, I have no talent, and Kiritsu taught me nothing of magic. He said something about me having no need of such knowledge. I could swear earlier on it said that he wanted him to be a magus. Oh well, I still don't know what he meant by that. But still, it didn't matter to me back then. I thought that if I could use magic, I could be like him. But I was not born with talent, no strength in magic circuit, no accumulated works of magic handed down for generations. The work of magic Kiritsu possessed, the magic crest passed down the Emiya family, so it can only pass down to a blood relation. A magic crest forces a rejection on those with no blood relation. So, as an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's magic crest. Well, anyways. As I don't even know what a magic crest is, it doesn't matter if I have one or not. So now, all it comes down to is training what I can do. If I want to be a magus, I have to learn magic fit to my nature. To be blunt, magic is a way to release one's magical energy. Yeah, that's pretty much how it always is anyway, right? You could say that magical energy is my life force. It is divided into two forms, a large source, mana, floating around the world, and a small source, Oda, created inside oneself. It goes without saying that the large source is superior to the small one. The power of mana is on a completely different level from Oda. Whatever the form of the magic, a spell using the large source far excels one using only one's own power. That is why superior magic excel at drawing magical energy from the world. It's like a filter. A magus turns his body into a filter, sucks up the mana from the world around him, and changes it into something he can use. This filter is what we call a magic circuit. This is the talent one is born with, and the number of magic circuits within you determines the moment you are born. A normal human being does not have many magic circuits. To begin with, there are always very few. That is why magic pile up generation after generation, making the children more suitable to use magic. I hear some families go too far and increase the number of magic circuits by selective breeding. Well, since I was raised in a normal family, I don't have many magic circuits, so that leaves only one method open to me. According to Kiritsu, every person has at least one form of magic they are fit for. He said something about drawing out magical energy appropriate to their origin, but I don't really understand. All I know is, for sure, is that even I have some magic I can use, and if I train that magic, I may be able to become like Kiritsu. That is why I learned only that magic. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsu finally accepted me as his student. Listen, Shiro. To learn magic is to stray away from common sense. You die when you die, and you kill when you must. Our essence is not in life, but in death. Magic is only a way to destroy yourself. I guess I had no fear as a child. Kiritsu smiled bitterly, putting his hands on the nodding Emi and Shiro. What I will teach you will bring you conflicts. That is why you must use it in front of people. Must not use it in front of people, rather. And you must not cease your practice, even though it's difficult to learn. Well, I don't really care if you break that one. The most important thing is that magic is something you use not for yourself, but for others. If you do that, you may become a magic user, but you will not become a magus. I guess Kiritsu didn't want me to become a magus. I don't care about that. I don't admire magus, I admire Kiritsu. If I can become like Kiritsu and be there for someone like that on that red day, that will be. Thump, crash, bang, what is it? I'm thinking needlessly. Did he just hit himself? I feel the iron rod in my backbone slide into place. Back to this again. I have a bad imagination, as in I can imagine things way too vividly, and yeah, that's paining me. No, this is... If I lose control of my breathing now, it would be a fatal mistake. Fatal? Holy shit, and he does this nightly? The artificial magic circle will eat away my body and destroy it. If that happens, I'll die. I would only be an amateur, failing such an elementary step. I grind my teeth and resume the connection. After a battle while walking on needles, the iron rod finally rides deep within me and fuses with my body. Take that one out of context. Just say that line to someone without them knowing what it is from. This process took me about an hour. After that much time, I'm finally able to make one artificial circuit, one circuit that produces magical energy. Basic structure, analyze. After that, it becomes a process of naturally flowing magical energy. Emiya Shiro is no magus. He's only a magic user who can create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. So there's only one magic possible, which is composition, analyze, strengthening objects. Is a magic of strengthening that reinforces the object's abilities to understand the object structure and channeling magical energy into it. Basic structure alter. Before me is a metal pipe. I will channel magical energy into it, perform the simplest magic, and reinforce its durability. Basically, channeling your magical energy into something other than yourself is like pouring poison into that object. It's just that it is just as the blood of Emiya Shiro is not the blood of the metal pipe. Pumping different blood only accelerates its breakdown, certainly not strengthen it. To prevent that, and to turn the poison into a tonic, one must completely understand the structure of the target, and channel the magical energy into small open spaces. I need a drink. Composition, reinforce. It must be easy for a skilled magus, but for me, who cannot even create sufficient magical energy, it is as hard as hitting a target hundreds of meters away. The usual target in archery is 27 meters. How much harder is it at many times that distance goes without saying. Gah. The heat in my body quickly escapes. The The burning pillar in my backbone disappears, and the lungs stretch to the limit, demand air. Yeah, I arc my back to hold off the daze, almost making me pass out. Damn it, failed again. There's no change in the metal pipe. It seems that magical energy I poured into it has evaporated into the air. It's hard to improve something that already has form. The thing I'm attempting is like adding something to an already complete work of art. Adding to a complete object risks making it less perfect. Adding unnecessary things will actually decrease the value. That's why the magic of strengthening is simple yet difficult, and only a few magi use it willingly. I just realised, even though I thought that this episode was going to go into daytime straight away, it's been like 10 minutes in and we're still here. It's not like I use it willingly either, but it can't be helped, as this is the only thing I'm good at. It would be much easier if I could just form something out of clay and use it instead, but a substitute in appearance doesn't have the internal structure to match. Junk around here is a good example. When I fail at strengthening magic, I make some substitute objects to practice and calm down, but they all end up with nothing inside. I can visualize something structure easily, so I can make the outside look like the original, but it's empty inside, and of course, it doesn't do anything. I wipe the sweat off my brow. Now that I think about it, I realize my whole body is sweating like I've been drenched with a bucket of water. It's a lot of sweat, but I'm lucky it just ended like this. That was really bad. If I'd taken a second longer to recover myself, I would probably have destroyed most of my body. Oh fucking hell, you're really dedicated. If I improved every time I came closer to death, there might be some hope. It's not even that easy. It is true that you won't improve your magic if you're scared of death. As long as you study magic, death is always right beside you. Even a simple magic repeated every day can go off with a simple mistake, taking the caster's life. The first step of a magus is to accept death. Kiritsu said so sadly. Maybe he meant that he didn't want me to take such a step. Saving someone means not saving someone else. A superhero is really selfish, huh? Kiritsu said that to me when I told him I wanted to be just like him. I still don't know what he meant. But Emiya Shiro has to become a superhero who goes around saving people, just like Emiya Kiritsu. If people are saying Fate Zero, you'd be laughing like I am internally right now. But I still can't even do basic things like this. Why do I get distracted by needless things at the most important times? I'm so stupid. It's not even enough to understand the structure of an object with mere vision. A skilled magus only detects what's important and channels magical energy without waste. Moving the microphone a bit if it doesn't come up too loud. My dream is to become a superhero. I remember what Fujini said during dinner. I don't think it's embarrassing or impossible. It's already determined. Emiya Shiro will succeed Emiya Kiritsu. That's why, even though I'm inexperienced, I've done everything I can. I don't know what kind of person a superhero should be, so I can only approach it by helping others within the limits of my abilities. I have aimed straight for that goal for the past 5 years, but when things just go wrong like this, I do have doubts. Jeez. I don't get it, Father. How can I become a superhero? Look up at the sky through the window. It's not like I can just randomly do good deeds. I think being a superhero is different from just helping others. I know that, but the question is, how can I become one? The difference between the two is the thing I've failed to understand for the past 5 years. Whoa, throat's hurting. 4 episodes in a row seems to be a bit harder. 4 episodes? No, 3 episodes. 2, 1 day, 2. 2, 1 day, 2. No. Like, I don't understand. Oh. God, my throat's hurting. My awakening is dark. Perhaps I just don't dream much, but unless something really special happens, I always seem to have the same dream. It's a sword. What I imagine are swords, but I don't know why it is. But this is the only thing that comes to my mind. There are no meaning or reason to it. It may just be one of those aspects making up Emiya Shiro. Heartbeat. There are no dreams to dream. The only things I recall from sleep are things I was taught a long time ago. For example, about magic. Even if I'm an amateur, if I'm a magus, the only natural for me to understand the kind of world I live in. To put it simply, a magus is an exception in conflict with modern society. But even exceptions must band together to survive. Father told me that the groups of magi is called the Magic Association. All these complicated things they're talking about, and then it's just like, that's such a simple name. He also said that I shouldn't associate with them. Do not associate with the association. The group called the Magic Association hides magic and organizes magic. They basically keep watch to see that magi do not affect society with magic, but the strange part is that they do not prohibit misuse of magic. According to Kiritsu, the Magic Association is only interested in the concealment of magic. Even if a magus carries out his research at the expense of the lives of many ordinary people, the Magic Association will not punish him. Their priority is that magic should not become public, so they do not ban magic. So, they're crazy people who think you can do anything as long as you don't get caught. Wow, that mindset. Anyway, the surveillance of the Magic Association is thorough. Most magical research would cost the lives of ordinary people, and as a result, the existence of magic would become public. So the association does not allow researchers that would harm society. So magi stay at home, research quietly, while the normal world carries on unmolested. That's one way to say it. Hence, magi only try to hide themselves to escape the association. So perhaps I just don't know it, and the magus lives in this town. I hear the town of Fujiya is a spiritually excellent area. Such an area always has a distinguished magus with a history. They are called the second owner, an elite in the association and trust the area to them. Magi who live in the area must visit them and obtain their permission to construct an altar here. Looking at it like that, we're thieves living here without the permission of the landlord. Father was an outlaw who cut his ties with the association and moved here without the consent of the administrator of Fuyuki. The owner doesn't know that Emiya Kiritsu was a magus, and Kiritsu didn't know who the owner was. With reasoning like that, I think our position is ambiguous. Father, the real magus, has passed away, and I, his son and pupil, don't know the Magic Association and have not the skill to be a magus. From the association's point of view, they would want to catch an amateur like me doing things, but I've seen no movement yet. No, I've heard that Japan is relatively hidden from the eyes of the association, so I think I just have not been found out. But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. People say that the eyes of the association are everywhere. On top of that, if you commit a crime with magic, the heretic hunters of the church will come after you. That just means that wherever you use magic for, lack of care will create enemies. I, Emiya Shiro, just have to study independently, taking that into account. Yay! That was a long scene. That was a long scene. I wake up to see the sun shining in through the window. The sun may have just risen, as it's still a bit dark outside. I wonder, I'm really not good in the mornings. I get up, trying not to be defeated by the morning chill, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. One of my strengths is waking up at this time, no matter how late I go to sleep. I do sometimes make mistakes and wake up late like yesterday, but I usually wake up early. But, to think alarm clocks are degenerate, so I haven't used one since I was a kid. Alright, breakfast. Since I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, I'll have to return the favour this morning. I should finish prepping before Sakura arrives, and I just smashed the mic with the chair. Great. I'll cook rice and make some miso soup. It's radish carrot yesterday, so I'll make onion and potato miso soup today. I always make the usual broth egg and broth boil. What is broth boil? And I'm done. I cut and salt the sorry, I don't even know how to say that. And stop just before cooking it. Alright, that should do. It's almost 6 o'clock. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some extra time. Just 20-minute mark. It's a bit short. Do my daily routine at the dojo. I'll make one more side dish and Sakura's coming. It's like, if this does like visual novel where you sort of end up with a girl, although you've been introduced to your teacher / mentor, Sakura and Rin, the only girls, and earlier that was like just passing on the street. I've already made breakfast. I'm gonna do number 1 as usual. Always pick one, it seems. Yeah, I guess I can train a bit if I have this much time. Morning exercises are my daily routine, so I'll go and stretch my body a bit. The empty dojo is quiet enough to brace myself. In the mornings when the sun has just risen, the silence has a holy feel to it and fascinates those who come here. Well, there's only one thing to do now that I'm here. Since Kiritsu died, the place has become a gym to train my body. Even a magus cannot neglect to train their body. One of the requirements for magus is to have excellent physical abilities. While Kiritsu was alive, we had many matches here. Well, it was pretty much him beating on me, so I didn't learn anything about how to win in a fight. But I think I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I was taught the difference between killing your opponent and beating your opponent. Knowledge and experience are different. Unless I know in advance, it's hard to tell whether I'm involved in a fight or a matter. It's a simple story. As long as you learn magic, you might destroy yourself. And times will come when you have to fight. For a magi, a fight means killing each other. So I think that Kiritsu wanted to teach me was to prepare my mind for the prospect of death. But it's been a while since my teacher passed away. On my own, all I can do are simple exercises that anyone could do. Well then, let's do this properly. After warming up by stretching, I start my exercises, keeping my attention inside my body. I comprehend the flow of the magic circuit, the friction in my bones and the distortion in my thinking during fatigue, all while I'm training. 120, 150, 170. Every simple push-up can be training for the magic circuit if I put on mental shackles instead of mental weights. Mental shackles instead of mental weight. Metal. Freaking. Okay. As I don't have a teacher, exercise like that of a club's morning practice is an important part of training. There's Sakura. Finally, we actually have anything other than just the background in this episode. Good morning, senpai. Have you finished preparing breakfast already? Yeah, breakfast is done. All that's left is setting up the table and cooking the fish. Oh, I'll help then. I'll prepare the dishes. Sakura is cheerful. And behind that Admiral Jr. Oh, this is the smell of Shiro's omelette. I see. You're making breakfast this morning. Fujinaire moves slowly to the table. Well, that aside. First, I have to cook the fish I've prepared. Sakura, can you use the dishes in the middle? That will make it look better. Huh? This one with the bumps? Yeah, that. You have to think about the plates too, or you'll be too one-sided. Oh, and that radish is already grated. Sakura takes out the dish from the back. I think I saw a faint bruise on her wrist when she leaned forward. Okay. Hold on, Sakura. Yes? What is it, senpai? What's that mark on your wrist? Oh. She looks away awkwardly. And that tells me who caused that bruise. Shinji again, huh? What does he think he's doing? Beating on his sister? That's not it, senpai. Well, I fell and hurt myself. I'm a bit slow, you know. So I fall and get hurt a lot. Don't be stupid. How can you get a bruise like that from falling over? It seems Shinji isn't tired of getting beat up yet. No, senpai. This doesn't have anything to do with Nissan. I really did this myself, so you can't get mad. If he did it, why are you protecting him? Seriously. Sakura falls silent. Sakura looks calm, but she's pretty obstinate. It's useless to say anything to her now. Alright, if you say so, I'll leave it at that. But if I see it again, I won't be able to hold back. Yes, I'm sorry, senpai. Why are you apologizing? It's Shinji's fault. Dots. At that mention of Shinji's name, Sakura looks away awkwardly. In other words, he is the cause of that bruise. Mattel Shinji is a habit of being hard on his sister, Sakura. I first noticed about a year ago. Sakura was injured sometimes, and she just evaded my question when I asked about it. When I asked Shinji about it, of all things, he said he was the one who hit Sakura. When I asked him why he hit her, he said they just hit her because he felt like it. Oh my god. That is horrible. Like, that is horrible. After that, I got pissed and did to Shinji what he did to Sakura. Since then, we've been estranged. I still don't regret punching him, but I think it's my fault that Sakura is being treated worse. Senpai, did you, work things out with Nissan? Huh? Yeah, I did. We didn't have a fight or anything, so it's not like there was anything to work out. It might be that for you, but Nissan thinks you guys got in a fight, so, well, please be careful. They seemed fine the other day. Sakura says strange things sometimes. Be careful, you mean of Shinji? Yes, I think Nissan thinks of you as an enemy. He thinks that you quit the club because of him. That's not true. Me quitting the club has nothing to do with Shinji. Well, maybe a bit, but it's still not something you should worry about. Like Shinji says, this is certainly indecent. I point at my right shoulder. There's a scar there. It happened a year and a half ago. The shipment collapsed on me during work and it hurt my right shoulder. I got out with a broken bone, but the shipment was a hazardous one and I got a burn on my skin. And after that accident, I quit the archery club. Gonna have to end it soon. My school archery club emphasizes formalities, as they left us shoot formally, even as students. The men expose their right shoulder when they shoot. Shinji commented that it might be indecent for someone shooting formally to have a scar on their shoulder. Since I was getting busy with work, I quit the archery club right then. Yeah, I'm going to leave it here because this is probably going to be a long scene like every other one is. So, I've been TheDaff. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time for more Fate Stay Night.